Welcome back to Clay Target Shootout. Whenever you participate in a shooting sport, it's always important to protect your eyes. It's also important to protect your ears. Let's go to my partner Phil Borgelli for a little more on ear protection.
You know, if you go to a sporting clays course and you shoot your gun 50 or 100 times without earplugs in, you can do permanent damage to your hearing. Unfortunately, these foam earplugs that they sell at every clubhouse and cost about 50 cents, and they're very, very effective in protecting your hearing. Here's the right way to put them in. Take it and roll it in your fingers, reach over your head, stick it in about as far as it'll go. You can't hurt yourself. And when you let go, you'll feel that foam expand and really seal up that ear cavity, and that way it'll keep the sound out. Now the other option, what I use, is a pair of these electronic hearing earmuffs. These have a little microphone in it, a little circuit that lets me hear what people are saying around me and lets me hear the trapper, but at the same time there's a limiter switch in it so that when something loud like a gunshot goes off, it actually shuts off the microphones and protects my hearing. Now my ears are sensitive enough that I'll wear these over earplugs. Not everybody does, but for me that's really what works the best. All right, well, we're going to show you now what happens if you don't wear hearing protection. And you'll experience temporary deafness, and audiologists call that a temporary threshold shift. Back to normal, but you hear that ringing? That ringing is the sound of nerve cells dying. The damage that gunfire does to your ears is permanent, it's cumulative, and there's no way to reverse it. So you have to protect your hearing at the range.
Phil, I think it's a fine line when it comes to ear protection because you need to block out the sound so your ears aren't damaged, but yet you want to hear the traps.
That's right. It's important to be able to hear the traps, especially in a station like this one where we've got two that are very far apart. You want to hear both the birds going so you know which one to look for first.
Yeah, this is going to be a challenging target. We're at station number 3. The shooters are going to see 5 true pair. Now, one of the birds is a batu and the other is a chandelle. They're both arcing into each other. So how do you know which one to take first?
I think you shoot the chandelle first just because batus are difficult to shoot on the way up because often they're edge on. There's not much to shoot at.
You want to wait till it turns. That's right. Leading off on station 3 will be Sean Cahoot. He's currently sitting in 2nd place.
Ball.
This is a place where he could make up a few. Hit and hit.
Ball.
That's a hit and a hit. Last pair.
You know, if you watch him shoot that second target, even though it's looping, he's just moving the gun straight across. He's treating it as if it were a crossing target.
Well, I think that's true at any batu. When you can see the entire arc, pick the high point, and that's where you should break it.
Ball.
Hit and hit. He's out with a perfect 10. Our next shooter will be John Marsh.
Ball.
Miss and hit.
Ball.
Miss and miss. Last pair.
Ball.
Hit and hit. Good way to end. So John will get out of this station with a score of 6.
They're up in the air, so you get a little bit of a distance issue, and I ended up finding myself out in front of them and pulled the trigger when I should have.
Our next shooter, Greg Wolf. Greg is also our leader, but he has to shoot well because Sean Cahoot, who's right behind him, just ran it.
Ball.
Hit and hit.
Very aggressive move by him on that first target. He shoot almost before it hits his peak.
Hit and hit. Last pair.
Ball.
Hit and hit. He is also perfect, and he will retain the lead. Our next shooter will be Paul Davis.
When Greg shot his targets, he shot them before they peaked, and so I'm going to try to do that. Shoot them early when they're still moving.
Oh.
Hit and hit.
Oh.
Miss and hit. Last pair.
Oh.
Hit and hit. So Paul gets out of this station with a score of 6. So the leaderboard looks like this. We've got Greg Wolf still at the top with 24, Sean Cahoot with 23, Paul Davis at 18, and John Marsh with 17. Now that we've had a chance to watch our shooters in action, let's hear what they have to say about the sport of sporting clays.
What I like about sporting clays is the variety of the sport and the competition. My one main goal was to win a world championship, and I did it a couple years ago. So now I'm just trying to try to reach that level again and repeat.
My dad was a gunsmith, and he wanted to start me out, and started out when I was about 6 or 7, shooting little stuff on a patterning board, and never stopped.
When I was 12, I got my gun safety license, and then me and my dad went out shooting sporting clays. And he had fun and I had fun, and so we found some tournaments and started shooting.
Didn't do a lot of hunting as a kid, but thought skeet and trap looked kind of fun, and got out here and got into some guys that were shooting. They brought me into their group, and we just kind of started shooting, and from that day forward, I was hooked.
Now there's no excuse not to go to mynsca.com and participate in the viewer's choice. We want to know who your favorite shooter is. When we come back, we'll bring you Station 4. Clay Target Shootout winners receive gift certificates from Greenwood Sporting Arms, eye protection from Deco High Wide, and our viewer's choice winner receives a truck vault and a Firefly trap thrower from Promatic.